Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Hand of Fate 2. In the previous episode, we defeated the Star Challenge, unleashing a, at this point, familiar face to us. And in this episode, we'll be taking on the Moon Challenge. Now, I have already tried recording this. Unfortunately, I kind of failed early on. So I decided to ditch that and try something to ditch that recording and try again. For your companions, I recommend Kolbjorn because you're going to need that bonus die. For encounters, I recommend anything that can get you a lot of gold. Trust me, you are going to need that. Goblin Town especially, One Drunken Night is also good. Thomas the Ogre can be good for getting equipment. Other than that, get stuff that can get you food. Equipment. I highly recommend stuff that you could probably get to sell for gold. Because trust me, there's something you, while not necessarily need the equipment for, or gold for, it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier. I'd also recommend anything that can help you out with gambits, in particular dice gambits. Such as the Gambler's Jewel. Lord's Diadem can also be useful for precision gambits. And the Imperial Armor is something that could be useful. Now, in the failed recording, I actually got a new supply. For starters, but for your supplies, I recommend food, gold, and the Worker's Hammer. I know I typically say get the Fate's Path, but these are going to be much more useful. I actually got enough shards for a token, which got me the Ring of Preparation. No idea what it does. But with that, let's get going. You have an insider who may help you infiltrate the palace, gather support amongst the populace of the corruption-seeped city in order to convince them that the Emperor must be killed.
The final chapter of our story approaches. The cards are set in motion.
On the last day of solstice, you pass through the gates of the great city. The scene before you is overwhelming. A melange of architectural styles, exotic smells, and busy, busy people. You have taken counsel with your companions and wrestled with self-doubt. Your path is clear now. The Empire is a force for darkness in this world, bringing nothing but death and destruction. If you are truly a hero, this is the time to prove it. There can be no other end than this one. The Emperor must die. Estrella has organized a covert meeting with General Flinthallow, an ally from our Empire days. He will tell us the way into the palace, but only if we prove that we have the backing for such a rebellion. Well, let us begin our search then. Estrella disappears into the crowds, stating she has some business to attend to. You see the meeting place in the distance, the Church of Fires, a shining marble monument soaring above the crowd and rabble of the city. But first, you must explore the districts and gain enough support for your cause. An Empire soldier stares at you from across the way. You disappear into the market crowd before he realizes who you are. Now, see that inconspicuous rating? That determines how difficult or how easy it is to get through the patrolling soldiers. Those are card gambits. And in order to get the golden token, we need to get all 12 conspirators, not one less. If we head up north, we should find a pageant wagon. Parked in the dust corridor is a traveling theater that has seen better days. The mottled stage curtains hang tiredly. A pasty, ill-looking man named Old Patton appears to be the head of this enterprise. He waves you over. White powder has settled into the wrinkles of his face. His painted lips twist into a knowing grin. "I know who you are," he whispers. "Look here, I won't tell." He taps his red bulbous nose and winks. if you stand in for my recently, and rather inconveniently, deceased actor. He points out a ragged baker costume. What happened to him? Well, my baker has been walled into his own home, hasn't he? He's either going to starve or get eaten by the corrupted. The old man looks positively delighted at that prospect. Well, looks like we gotta be the baker, and we really do. The play starts off with a hag knocking on the pantomime door. "Oh, baker, I've come for your hand in marriage." Greet the hag with a kiss. The crowd claps and jeers as you plant a kiss on the actress, or actor, playing the hag. They play the part with spectacular realism. "Oh, my love, dearest of hearts, I brought you a cake," the hag croaks, removing a petrified cake from the folds of her apron. The cake is spotted with mold. "Gotta put on a good performance. Take a bite of the cake." The cake tastes of cinnamon and is so stale you are forced to drag your teeth along its rock-hard surface to scrape some crumbs off. The crowd watches in morbid fascination. Then, inexplicably, a caged boar is dragged on stage. The hag looks at you expectantly. "Release the boar!" Before anybody can stop you, you open the cage. The boar blinks, startled, before charging off stage into the screaming crowd. Its tusks gouge your leg as it makes its escape. Ouch. That was a bad idea. The boar gores an innocent bystander before disappearing with a snort down an alley. Other than the person bleeding out, the crowd assumes this is all part of the show. You see Old Patton signaling for you to wrap up the performance. In order to get one of your conspirators, you must denounce the Empire. The crowd regards your speech with suspicion. They are sure to alert the Empire. A single member of the audience, a woman in a dirty apron, looks inspired by your speech. Her to the apron pledges her service to your cause. Really? Because we didn't even speak to her. You sure hope Old Patton is happy with your performance. If we can get that 30 gold, ooh, this'll be good. But it's right next to that General of Steel. Nope. But it's better than getting the General. The rotten cake churns in your stomach. You double over and vomit onto your boots. Yay. Old Patton is impressed by your dedication to the role. His charcoaled eyes well up with tears. Now this is acting. Old Patton pledges his service to your cause. Your escapades at the pageant wagon have increased your notoriety. But thankfully, we are still inconspicuous. Well, little gold's better than nothing. $20 more and we'll have just enough. Oh boy. Yeah, bunch of corrupted, people running away. Gotta take them down. And then slip away and hope we don't get noticed. Shouldn't be too difficult.
Only blood will end this.
Yeah, I know these things are essentially meant to be zombies, but man, are they stupid. Case in point with that one. Now, you can search for spoils, but chances are that will lead to you getting a curse. So try and leave quietly. With the corrupted creatures dealt with, you stand to leave and hope that no one recognizes you. Ooh, that was a lucky roll. You garner a few curious looks from the crowd. Thankfully, the bustle of the city swallows you up again. That would have increased from inconspicuous to recognizable. Oh great, more. No matter. Let's leave quietly and hope we can actually get something that, you know, helps us. I can't afford to be wasting coal, Bjorn. It's that traitor! It's the traitor! The Emperor Murderer! Yeah. That's weird. Oh, no, wait, it's at the specific checkpoints that it does that. Yes, Goblin Town. Let's visit Gold Mountain. This is gonna get us more than enough gold. And hopefully some food. Yeah. If it weren't for their wide variety of hats, you'd struggle to tell one goblin from another. You wonder whether they ever feel the same way. Well, we didn't gain anything, really, but we didn't lose anything. Well, we gained food. Let's see, what do we got in terms of equipment? Golden shield. No, I am not buying that. One, I can't afford it, and two, it would kind of defeat the purpose of it, which is, you know, to get you gold. Though, seeing that there probably means my next equipment draw is going to be from that. A group of soldiers stand in your path. A small child points at you, trying to get her mother's attention. Her mother, thankfully, ignores her. Let's stay inconspicuous and pass through. You hope they do not recognize you. At our current level of suspicion, we only have one failure card. You keep your head down and continue on your way. From what I've seen, if you fail that, then it will stay there. But apparently if you pass through, well... Ooh, this is some good equipment. I can only buy one thing, though. The slow swing would be nice. Let's see, 32. That would take me below 50, and I can't guarantee that I would get through that. Ugh. Well, let me rephrase that. I can't guarantee I would get more after that. That would get me exactly 50. I don't think there's going to be anything that can take my gold away. Well, there is one thing, but I'm probably just going to leave that alone.
The Empire runs on its messages and its intrigues.
You follow a trail of hearsay to an inn in the town of Alderose. The barkeep introduces himself as Hervey and says Father Galfrey mentioned that you are a keen thief, so I have a lucrative proposition for you. A new reeve is to be elected. I've intercepted the letter and made an adjustment to include myself, the great Hervey of Alderose. All I'd like you to do is get this list into the messenger's hands without him noticing. He hands you a sealed scroll. Drop all your gold. You approach the messenger and drop the contents of your coin pouch on the floor. He gets off his stool and begins to help you gather your coins. Oh boy. Oh, too close. Don't worry, we get all our gold back. While he is distracted, you use sleight of hand to slide the scroll into his satchel. Then you reach deeper to retrieve a piece of his equipment. That actually would have been useful right then and there, but whatever. You ought to be more careful, says the messenger, handing you the remainder of your coins. The messenger finishes his drink and continues on his way. Hervey gives you a nod and says, here's your payment, as promised. I'm going to make a great reeve. I think I'll build a statue first. And we get even more gold. Funny thing is, I tossed this into my deck not knowing it would do that successfully.
Everywhere we turn, they are burning witches. Were I you, I'd stand clear. Until we end this, the Empire will continue with its purges.
So it was a nice surprise to see all that gold flow into my pocket. A midwife confined to a pillory cries out to you, proclaiming her innocence. I'm not a witch, she cries. She's accused of practicing necromancy after she brought a stillborn back to life and is due to stand trial in front of the Inquisition. I was only looking out for the child, and now they will have me hold scorching iron to see if I burn. Of course I will burn, she exclaims. You promise to do whatever it takes to free her. On the day of the trial, you sneak into the executioner's chambers and draw your sword as the burly man adjusts his executioner's mask. Patience. Lord's diadem shall help us, but we require patience to do so.
Breathe, you have done well.
With a single blow, he drops like a stone. You claim his attire, leaving him tied in a closet. The dealer draws Executioner's Axe equipment card. Take an E.
A bloody reminder of justice in these lands.
Take an E. Causes knockdown to a random enemy when activated. Enemies in knockdown can be defeated with a finisher. After combat, receive +3 fame if you completed 3 finishers. Not bad, but I think I'll stick with my worker's hammer. As you perform the ordeal, you ensure the iron scarcely touches the flames. The midwife winces as you drop the warm bar into her hands, but soon realizes the ruse is for her benefit. You advise her to leave town before the real executioner is discovered.
Well done.
The Blood District, main gate. At the gates leading into the Blood District, an Empire soldier speaks to a grumbling, slow-moving crowd. It appears there is some sort of holdup. Let's join the line. A soldier shouts a proclamation to the crowd. Attention! From this day forward, and until further notice, there will be checkpoints at all gates. With the speech over, you continue shuffling through the gates, with the rest of the crowd. You hope you're not recognizable enough to arouse suspicion. Alright, got a 50-50 shot of getting through this. I'm gonna go with this card. Good. You move along with the crowd. Soldiers manning the gate do not notice anything amiss. We are now, however, recognizable. But we're on to the next district. There are 2 areas here where we can gain conspirators. Oh, hey, Thomas the Ogre. Let's ignore the farmers. Let's play a game of manual dexterity. See, you play the game well. I will have to do better in future. He reaches behind the table and lifts an item, saying, would this be of any use to you? Oh yeah, that's going to be useful. Let's play a dice game.
Back to the bones. I hope you have learned to be their master.
I wouldn't recommend wasting Kolbjorn on this because you are going to need him. Perhaps I've grown lax from sitting in the forest by myself for too long. Ooh, the golden shield could get us some extra gold. And while that would be useful, the peeler. Shatter armor. Perform a powerful strike that causes 300% damage and completely removes armor when activated. Bash causes additional damage to armor. You can also get the golden shield, sell that for a ton of cash, but we have what we need, so I'll take the peeler.
Hardly seems fair to allow others to armor themselves against your onslaughts.
And let's try the card game. This one? Ah, so close to getting the achievement. Waterfall of Youth. Yes, please. Potion of Youth and a bunch of extra food. I need that. If I'm right, the gate should be on this side, but I could be wrong. Now then, let's see if I'm right. Yes, the card is defeated. Good. Ah, no, the cemetery. I was really hoping I wouldn't run into this one. Let's see, the woman introduces herself as Hild and asks you to accompany her to her husband's grave. She pulls you close and conspiratorially and glares at Thomas. I think they added more stairs. The grave digger makes a baffled noise in disagreement. Let's accompany Hild to her husband's grave. Hild takes your arms and leads you through a large stone arch toward the tombs. 3 eyes, she says, pointing at a strange symbol of 3 dots etched upon the gate. That's lucky. Past graves and flowers, you climb until you reach a huge primitive stone tomb, fallen mostly to ruin. It is devoid of any markings other than 3 dots bored over the entrance. Ah, here. Hild dusts the walls here and there with her handkerchief as she descends the ancient steps into the tomb. You can barely make out her white dress and her crinkled eyes. She beckons you to follow. Gotta follow her. You hurry after Hild. Something flickers in the passage ahead and the old woman disappears into the darkness. You have to pass these dice rolls. Don't be fooled by how low the target is. You could still easily fail. You head deeper into the tomb. It is dark here and unusually warm. You take a tentative step, feeling smooth marble underfoot. The air smells of dust and flowers. Now, in order to follow her, we need to go east, which unfortunately gets us a curse. Fast start. All enemies move 15% faster until they are hit. Okay, not too bad. Then we head north, and then west. You arrive at the inner sanctum. A gaping pit lies in the center of the room, swallowing the light. Okay. Without ceremony, the old widow reappears behind you. Why, hello. Did you get lost? With a wan smile, Hild hands you a bundle of dried flowers. She nods encouragingly and then stands back to watch. Place them next to the hole. You gently place the brittle flowers on the floor next to the pit. The old widow smiles back at you, her wrinkled face wet with tears. Hild the deceased pledges her service to your cause. You hear a scream of terror from somewhere above ground. Hild hides a small smile and states that she must stay here a while to pray. Unnerved, you quickly retrace your steps out of the tomb. You find the source of the screaming. It's none other than the old gravedigger Thomas. This is what you need Kolbjorn for, and preferably having something that can increase your dice rolls. The Watcher, he's here! He babbles, pointing a shaking hand at a mound of ornate tombs. Search in the pointed direction. You rush up the stairs to confront the threat. A hulking mass slides out from behind a mausoleum. The faceless creature towers over you, its 3 eyes shining brilliantly. We have 3 options here. We can fight it, call for help, or try to reason with it. These are 3 chances. We can do all 3 of these, but we need to get either an 18 plus on the dice roll, or get 3 of the same. Now, I have managed to get 3 of the same in the first roll, but it didn't count for some reason, so I'm thinking you might need to get it on your last roll. I'm not 100% sure. That might have been fixed. Yes, I will take Kolbjorn's die. Please don't get a 1. Oh, thank God.
A win here sets the tone
Honestly,
for your challenge.
This is the one I was worried about the most. I know I went on and on about getting the gold, but even without the gold, you still have a slight chance of succeeding at that one, supposedly from what I've read. Then, with a pulsing shine of its 3 eyes, the Watcher disappears in a blink, as if it were never there. Thomas, weeping, taps his forehead uncontrollably and jabbers words of gratitude. Thomas the Gravedigger pledges his service to your cause. You carry Thomas to his cottage near the cemetery's entrance. You have to ply him with tea and words of comfort before he releases his fearful grip on your hand and allows you to leave.
Medicine and chemistry. Places magic can hide as a more specific
I'll be.
craft.
This is not expected. I was expecting the gate. The apothecary is inundated with a tense rabble of city inhabitants. As you get closer, you notice that the door has been barred shut. An elderly woman is on her knees, weeping, clutching a pearl necklace to her chest. "Open up! Have you no heart?" A heavy-set blacksmith pounds on the door. "My daughter has succumbed to the rot," his voice cracks. The rest of the crowd shrinks away from the man, some covering their mouths fearfully. Okay, in order to do this, find another way in. Hopping over a side gate and squeezing past crates, you find the back door to the apothecary. It's unlocked, but a thin bird-like woman stands by the door, scrutinizing you. Greet the bird-like woman. "Hello, I am Jorhelm. My twin is Janus. I have heard that you want to destroy the Empire, and now that I see you are the strong of brow and crooked of nose, I believe in your quest." Jorhelm the twin pledges her services to your cause. She bids you goodbye as you enter the apothecary back door. Janus will want to help you too, if you can find her. The owner, a bespectacled, spindly gentleman, jumps at your surprise entrance. Throw a heavy bag of gold on the counter. This is what you need the 50 gold for. Now, supposedly you can do a wait and see, and you might be able to still get everyone here if you manage to get 2 huge successes in a row on a card gambit. I don't like my chances with that, even with the Empire armor, so yeah, that's why I highly recommend getting as much gold as you can. He considers the heaping pile of gold, then, with a sigh, pulls a large crate out from behind the gold. Inside, you see dozens of small bottles of amber liquid. Here, take them. I never claimed this was a cure, but desperate times make desperate people. It is here that you explain your quest. The bespectacled apothecary nods. If you can fix this, yes, I will join your cause. Mullen the apothecary pledges his service to your cause. The old townsfolk outside the apothecary fall to their knees in gratitude when you hand out the little amber bottles. 1 bottle is left over. Keep it for yourself. John the blacksmith pledges his service to your cause. Harriet the widow pledges her service to your cause. Your antics at the apothecary have increased your notoriety, which unfortunately means we are infamous. Let's see, got about a minute left. Let's see if we can't find the gate. Oop, fallen treasure. A dazzling blade. That shall be useful.
That will set you in good stead from here.
You are both quick and nimble as you exit the cave safely.
In my time, everything was in its place. The supposed empire holds its borders like a drunkard holds a thoroughbred.
One day you meet a northerner displaced from her homeland by warfare. She explains she is a tracker for hire, working for those that can pay. She speaks at length about the nearby terrain. This will be useful as it does allow us to bypass the other places. Yeah, I'll pay 8 gold. We've already given up the 50 we needed. I don't think I'm going to deal with this. This is mostly just to get some more gold for the apothecary, which we have taken care of, so let's just leave. and try and get through this gate. We're just about out of time, but shouldn't be much of a problem. You arrive at the main gate into the Peace District. A slow-moving line of townsfolk shuffle along as the Empire soldiers check for your face. You join the line of grumbling citizens and merchants and hope that you are not spotted. Yeah. Hey, they're right here! A soldier holding a crude drawing of your face gestures wildly as his comrades press through the crowd toward you. Not too bad. We don't have any brimstone cards to deal with, and I'm gonna stick with the worker's hammer, despite having the dazzling blade. Because, well, I do still need the tokens for that, and we do have phalanx around, which are guaranteed to block my hits. Oh, that's right, I forgot. I was wondering what that orange glow around their head was. It's like, yeah, that's their speed thing. Well, could have gone better, could have gone a hell of a lot worse, though. Crowd backs away in fear. You step over the bodies and press on into the Peace District. Rather ironically named, if you ask me. Oh boy. Well, with that, we have made it to the final district. Bit of a funny story about this one, but I'll tell it later. All we have left is 4 more conspirators to gain. Oh boy. This is going to be the most important one yet. But with that, we have come to an end for this episode. So, if you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, or to hit the straw poll link to vote for our next Let's Play. And please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.